Hey there, do you feel like you're following qualified fitness professionals and registered dietitians, but a lot of the information that different fitness professionals and different registered dietitians contradicts each other? So this does not mean that some of them are unqualified to be fitness professionals or registered dietitians. That would be a whole separate video. But in this video, we're going to talk about why you always find information that contradicts each other. So you could do an experiment and think you're testing one thing when you're testing something completely different. So right here, we're trying to experiment if resting longer between sets will result in more hypertrophy. So right here, sets, reps, percentage of 1 rep max, tempo, and rate of perceived exertion, these are all controlled variables. They are all staying the same. The only thing we are changing is the rest between sets. So rest between sets would be our independent variable. And then our dependent variable would be lean muscle mass gained. This could be measured by using a bioelectrical impedance machine. But the one thing we need to understand here is the red group, the top group, is resting longer between sets. So when they start their second set and start their third set, they will have more energy than blue, the bottom group, because they had more time to rest between sets. So this means the red group, the top group, will be able to get more reps on their second and third set. Now I know you're probably thinking, well, why don't they just stop at 8 reps on the second and third set, even though they might have a few more reps left in the tank? So we can keep the reps the same and keep all the intensity variables the same, so we're only changing one variable. The problem with this here is rate of perceived exertion will be changing in the top red group. So let's say the red group gains more muscle mass. You might think that more rest between sets will lead to more hypertrophy, when maybe it could be that training at a lower rate of perceived exertion could have led to more hypertrophy. Now, yeah, I get when it comes to training for hypertrophy, a lot of the research is showing that you should be training at least at an 8 for rate of perceived exertion, and you got to do some training at a 10 when it comes to rate of perceived exertion too. It is possible to see some studies show lower rate of perceived exertion, show more hypertrophy if both the groups are on the edge of overtraining. The one that's training at a lower intensity will have a better time recovering. So it'd also be important to track variables such as frequency, nutrition, sleep, and stressors outside of training. So all these intensity variables kind of have a 6-way inverse relationship. So if you do more sets, the reps will be lower on those later sets. If the percentage of your 1 rep max is higher, the reps will be lower. If the tempo has you spending more seconds going down on the eccentric part, the reps will be lower. If the rest between sets is less, the reps will be lower. And if the rate of perceived exertion is less, the reps would be lower too. So to make things simple here, every study has limitations to it. And when you're looking at a study, it's very important to find those limitations and those independent variables too, because most studies do not have just one independent variable. I know the titles of them will really make it look like that, but that is usually not the case. And it's also important to understand that science and data gives us general guidelines to follow, but it does not tell you what to do, because it's highly unlikely that your exact situation is the same as the people in the studies. You also don't have enough time in your life to try every single different combination of all the intensity variables with every single way you could possibly periodize your training. So it's going to be very important that you use a combination of what the research says and your personal experience when it comes to designing your training program. I will be coming out with more workout videos, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on those videos. Thanks for watching, and I wish the best of luck to each and every one of you at achieving your fitness goals.